Hi everyone, it's Justin Merrill. It's March 6th, 2011, and right now as I'm recording, the markets are open in Sydney and Hong Kong. Silver's trading at $26.20. So this is pretty exciting news because personally I bought silver after the Santa Claus rally. There was a dip and I bought some physical silver on that dip. I bought 5 10-ounce bars and 100-ounce brick. Johnson Matthey. Now, previously, my only silver investment had been in mining stocks and silver index funds. And I also have some silver rounds I've had since I was a child. So I've got like Liberty coins, Morgans, Canadian dollars, and personally one of my favorites, kind of sentimental, is a 1-ounce panda my father bought on a business trip to China. So that one's got a little more value to it than just the $36. But anyways, some other things I want to talk about are last week I attended the Independence Caucus Economics Summit in Lehi, Utah, and there were a bunch of interesting speakers talking about sound money and economics and energy policy and many different topics, and it was a lot of fun. Peter Schiff spoke. I actually saw him speak twice, once at the conference and then once afterwards at a Campaign for Liberty sponsored event. So it was a real pleasure getting to meet him, and good experience. I'm sure I'll bump into him again after I move to Washington, D.C. I'll be very involved in the political arena, or I plan on it. So I'm sure we'll bump into each other again. Now, one of the topics of discussion at the summit was a piece of legislation that has now been voted on and passed. It's the Utah Sound Money Act. And I actually got word of it. It was on the Kudlow report, is when I heard. So this is national news, but it's Utah legislation. Now, reading here from the Constitution, in Article 1, Section 10, my abridged quote, "No state shall coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts." This legislation makes gold and silver legal tender, and mints within Utah will be minting gold and silver coins, but obviously for constitutional reasons they will not denominate a dollar value on the coins. They will be only issuing the year, the fineness, and the quantity of gold and silver on the coin. This is great news that this is passed, because it allows the monetization of gold and silver, whereas if you treat gold and silver as investments versus a currency specie, then anytime that you sell your gold or silver at a profit in terms of dollars, then you'd have to pay capital gains taxes on those. But when you remove the taxation of it and you allow it to be currency, then you allow true money to work in the system, and people have the option under this legislation of how they want to transact, whether in their payments. So the way the legislation reads is that the the price of the gold and silver in the transaction will be between the buyer and seller of whatever assets or commodities or services, and with the exception of when dealing with the state of Utah, the Utah Treasurer will set a daily exchange rate for gold and silver, much similar to the London LBMA price fixings. So it'll be a totally free market system, and you can even pay your taxes in gold and silver. And this allows the monetization of the historically longest, the precious metals with the longest history of being money, what real money is. So I think it's really interesting this has passed. I think it's a sign that people are waking up to the problems of a fiat currency and understanding what real money is. So I commend Utah on trailblazing in this area. This will, in the event of the constant devaluation of the dollar, it'll give a safe haven and competition to U.S. Federal Reserve notes, and give people choices in how they transact. I think that this is a great step forward in the sound money movement. So if you would like to get further updates, please subscribe, and I also have a website, merrillecon.com, and you can follow me on Twitter. And also I will link the legislation so you can see the text, and also a website where you can get more information about this at utahsoundmoney.org. I'll put that information in the bar below. So see you all later.